So let's try multiplying a mixed number by a mixed number. And let's use what we know about multiplying whole numbers to multiply our mixed numbers. So I always like to think of a context to put this in. So let's say I have a window and I want to put a shade on, and I want to know how big this shade needs to be. So my window measures 3 1/4 feet by 4 2/5 feet. And I need to buy a piece of fabric that will cover the whole window. So as I multiply these fractions, I'm actually finding the area of the window shade, or of the window. So I'm going to use an area model just like we do in multiplication of whole numbers. And I'm going to use this area model to help me visualize what it looks like to multiply these fractions. So if I'm thinking of 3 1/4, that's really the same as 3 and some more. So I need some space on my area model to represent the 3 wholes and 1 more. So here are my 3 wholes, and then I'm going to break this last piece up into 4 equal pieces so that I can mark them as fourths. So here, from here to here, is my 3, and here is my 1/4. Then I think of my 4 2/5 as 4 and some more, so I'm going to break this section up into 5 equal parts. So now I have 5 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to take this last part and break it up into 5 equal parts to represent my fifths. And these two are the 2/5, and these 1, 2, 3, 4 are my 4 whole. So I'm going to use a different pen color to help me represent this array, but this section right here is my 3 times 4 array. So that right there, and I'm going to use my separate arrays to come up with 4 different products, and so that's, this model is an area model, and I'm using partial quotients, or partial products, sorry, to help me solve this. So I know 3 times 4 equals 12. So I'm also going to multiply 3 times 2/5, and here's 1 of my 2/5, here's 2 of my 2/5, and here's the 3rd of my 2/5. So 3 times 2/5, and I know that's 2/5 plus 2/5 plus 2/5, which gives me a total of 6/5, which I know is the same as 1 1/5. So now I have to ask myself, have I multiplied all my parts? And of course the answer is no, I have to do my 1/4, because the number is 3 1/4. So I'm going to do 1/4 times 4, and I know that this is 1/4, and another 1/4, and another 1/4, and another 1/4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 fourths, which I know is the same as 1 whole. And finally, I'm going to do my 1/4 times 2/5. And here I've got 1/4, and that's 1 of my 2/5. So my 1/4 times my 2/5, and if you'll notice, I did color in 2 little squares, but I'm actually looking at this total here because there are 20 of those squares, which we know is the same as 1/10. So now I'm going to add all of my partial products together. So I'm going to add 12 plus 1 1/5, which is the same as 1 and 2/10 plus my 1 plus my 1/10, which gives me a total of 13 and 2/10 plus one more is 14th and 2/10 plus 1/10 is 14 and 3/10. And the area model helped me to see all of the parts of my problem.